Hello, everybody. This is Charles Cook here, founding partner of Cook Baxter. It's this week's immigration update, talking in English this week, although I will answer questions. Hoy día estamos hablando inglés, pero contesto preguntas en español. So we're here to give you an update about what's going on in the world of immigration, because it's never in the news, and we never know what's happening. Let me just share you a piece of information. Take this as a word of wisdom, so to speak, on immigration. The reports that you see in newspapers of Trump enforcement, Trump actions, Trump this, Trump that, those are all snapshots in time, generally speaking, of very isolated incidents. They're not necessarily evidence of widespread anything. And that's why I want to talk today about what's going on with Trump's plan to deport 11 million people, whatever crazy number he's talking about, and ICE's very slow start. First thing to remember is that ICE, while it has about 20,000 employees, which seems like a lot, only 6,000 of them are actually agents. And in reality, only about 2/3 of those agents, maybe 4,000, actually deal with detention and removal operations. The other 2,000 agents work for a part of ICE called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. And they investigate human trafficking. That's kind of their specialty, and they're really good at it. Fraud, abuse of the immigration system. And they also do I-9 inspections. ICE's immigration czar, is it what you call him? Czar, Czarina? I don't know. He's got nobody working on human trafficking. He's got nobody working on I-9 inspections. He's got everybody at ICE working on these raids, or whatever they're calling them, around the country. And what we've seen is wildly unsuccessful mass arrest efforts. I think Trump really thought that ICE would show up and people would just line up and move into the paddy wagon, and he could parade them in front of the press like he's some sort of tin pan dictator, some country somewhere. The reality is, everybody in America has these really cool things called constitutional rights. And because every person has constitutional rights, they get to exercise them when confronted with the police. Remember, ICE, as they love to say, they're the police. It says police, ICE. And if they ask you your name, you have to tell them your name, because you can't hide your name. But you don't have to produce ID. There's no requirement that you carry ID in America. There's no legal. We don't live in that kind of country. It's not required. Nor is it required that you answer any other question at all from the police. So they ask you, where are you from? You don't have to answer that question. You say, I exercise my right to remain silent. They say, what are you doing here? Exercise my right to remain silent. Are you afraid to talk to me? I exercise my right to remain silent. Are you not going to talk to me? I exercise my right to remain silent, and I want to talk to an attorney before any other questions are asked. Am I free to go? Even if you did it in Spanish or Swahili or Quechua, doesn't matter. You don't speak English. Those rights apply to you. So we've been spending a lot of time educating people, lots of U.S. citizens as well, about their constitutional rights. This angered Tommy Homan so much on CNN when they asked him why his big raid with 400 agents, it's like 10% of the agents he had, in Chicago netted like one arrest. Because people in Chicago know their rights. And he said that like it was a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing that we know our rights. So I just got back from speaking at the Latin American Chamber of Commerce here in Atlanta to about 150 business owners, Latinos, about their rights and about their employees' rights and about the right for ICE to enter a premise and the right to ask questions and the need for a warrant. And it was fantastic. We had a great discussion. I did a presentation here a couple weeks ago about it, and I got really great questions about it. And so what we're really seeing from ICE right now is their attempt to ramp up from what Biden did, which was the highest number of deportations since 2013, higher than any year Trump ever had. And Biden did deport more people than Trump did over Trump's 4 years, and in 4 years, Kevin Biden had very few deportations in 21 and 22 because of the pandemic. Nobody was really being deported; people were out. So he did a lot of that in 2 years. I mean, Biden did a lot of enforcement actions, a lot of arrests, a lot of people detained, but not so much for the satisfaction of the GOP and the maggots. So now ICE is out there trying to somehow use mystical resources that they don't have and haven't been given by Congress to detain more people while still following the law. And I know a lot of ICE agents. They're good men and women. I mean, they believe in the Constitution just like I do, just like my clients do. And they follow the law, and that's what they're doing. So keep in mind that you'll see some more actions. You'll see lots of press, lots of newspaper articles and TV stations and stuff like that. And that's what Trump is doing, is designed by him and the minions that surround him to scare people. And if you have knowledge and you know your rights, you can be a little less scared or not scared at all. As long as you talk to lawyers, know what they're doing, you get your ducks in a row, you figure out what your options are. Now, yesterday they just started the press. People are leaving. People are going to leave. And I interviewed this one woman from Venezuela who said, it's not really cool here anymore. I'm going to go home. She came like 3 years ago. They found one person to do that. I will tell you, I haven't seen any. And I see lots of people. I haven't seen anybody that said, I'm going to go home. This is too harsh here. Clearly, you don't know what life's like home. So we're going to see this. It's going to keep going slow. He threw ICE agents, he's throwing IRS agents at it now, ATF, DEA. Pretty soon he's going to have the FBI out there arresting Juan for working in landscaping. It's because this is literally his focus. Unlike the economy, which just reported higher inflation for the first time in a very long time, and big problems for the economy coming our way, thanks to Donald Trump. He's literally removing the workforce that was keeping inflation down. That's what he's doing. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about in relation to this. Well, before we do that, let's talk about how much is Donald Trump really losing? You know, he is losing in court. They have yet to win a case that I'm aware of challenging their executive orders. They've lost the citizenship case either 5 or 6 times. They lost the NIH case. They lost the firing case. They lost the buyout case. We're about to file, and by the way, it's a religious case. 2 of them have been filed. We're about to file another one with some of our clients here in Georgia for some churches, and we're going to win that. Because all these actions that you're taking are violative of the law and or the Constitution. Nobody minds the president coming in and issuing policies to follow the law. That's what you get by winning the Constitution. But then if you lose in court, then you back up and do something else. People said the other day, well, Biden kept giving out forgiveness of loans because he was allowed to. That's why. The one case that was stopped was a different specific kind of case, but he could do it otherwise. He had authority to do it. He might not like it. Like I might not like what Trump does, but if it's legal, that's it. You know, he wants to get rid of the penny, whatever. He wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico, whatever. You know, that'll be changed in 4 years. You know that, right? Goodbye to the penny. Who needs it anyway? Well, actually, we do need it. It's going to cause inflation because people are going to go up. They're going to go up. So everything's going to go up 4%. It's going to. People will down their prices down. No, they won't. No, nobody will. I can promise you, they're all going up. So this man is poor of economics, going to do us all. So where are we in litigation? Well, he keeps losing. That's a good thing, and he's going to keep losing, which is a good thing. So that's the update there. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about today, I just came out of this meeting with business owners, was for I-9s. Now, every employer in America, outside of the government, even in the government, when they hire an employee, that employee has to fill out a Form I-9. The I-9 form is euphemistically known in the immigration community as the world's most complicated one-page form. I think it's 2 pages now, but it's still very complicated. There's a 84-page manual of instructions to fill out this 1/2 page form. But I've been doing audits since 1989. It came, this passed in 86, and they were doing, they started doing I-9s in 88. So every employer's got to do one, including for the owner. If the owner works, you have to do one for yourself. So here's the general rules. You must fill out an I-9 Section 1 on the first day of hire. If you don't do that, you have an I-9 violation. And that's your ID. That's the employee's information. Section 3, which is a document presentation to the employer of their work authorization and their identity. So that could be a green card, it could be a passport, which is both. It could be a driver's license, social security card, which is both. It could be a driver's license, birth certificate, which is both. There's a lot of documents you can use, including daycare records. That part 3 has to be done in 3 days. If you don't do it, it's an I-9 violation. If you don't properly fill out the certification part in any way, any violation, that's a violation. There are 47 different ways to make an error on an I-9 form. Every one of those subjects you to about a $2,500 fine. So let's say you say, Chuck, what's an I-9? That's a bad question if you're a business owner. You need to do them today. And you date them. You never backdate ever. You never backdate anything. You date them today and you fill them out. And yeah, you have an I-9 violation, but you've got now ameliorative efforts. You've tried to ameliorate the problem. You fixed it. You're unlikely to be fined or only fined a small amount. If you've been doing I-9s, the then question is, have you audited your I-9s? Have you gone in and had an independent person, other than the person who fills them out, go through and audit them? Now, you can audit them yourself. We do audits. Other lawyers do audits if you've got big numbers. But, if you've got 5 or 10 numbers, we're going to post a video within the next couple of weeks on how to audit an I-9. And I'm going to walk you through auditing an I-9 to make sure that I-9 is filled out correctly and done correctly. But if you do that, you have a red pen, and any errors you make, you correct, and then you initial and date the day you're doing it. This way, you show the immigration when there is an inspection that you're doing the I-9s, and you're trying your best to do them the right way. You might still get fined, but again, the fine will be a lot less than if you don't have I-9s or you haven't done them. The way I-9 inspections work is an ICE officer comes to your building, to your office, and hands you a notice. It's called Notice of Inspection. It requires you to submit back to him a variety of documents, including the I-9, any documents you attach to the I-9, like copies of the documents that you took, and some other documents like payroll records, employees' identity, dates of hire, things like that. And you have to get that in within 3 days. The first thing you should do, if ICE shows up at your place with a notice of inspection, is call your lawyer. Very first thing is you call your lawyer. Get the lawyer on the phone. The lawyer will call the ICE agent and say, we got too many I-9s. It's going to take us a few extra days. And they're generally always pretty good with that. So really, really important that you have done your I-9 inspection in advance before the notice of inspection comes, because you can't really do it after the notice of inspection. Kind of frozen at that point. Now, how long do you have to keep an I-9? You have to keep an I-9 at 1 year from date of termination or 3 years from date of hire, whichever is longer. 1 year from date of termination, 3 years from date of termination, for date of hire, whichever is longer. Say that again. 1 year from termination, 3 years from date of hire, whichever is longer. Now, in Georgia, if you have more than 10 employees on January 1, you have to be in E-Verify. This is important because if you're in E-Verify, when you do your I-9s, you're required to keep a copy of the documents. If you are not in E-Verify, my legal advice is you not keep copies of the documents, because all they are is evidence against you for not doing the I-9 correctly, or even taking documents that may on their face be blatantly false. So if you're not in E-Verify, you can't, if you got them, you can't throw them away, but in the future, don't take copies. Remember, again, in Georgia, more than 10 employees on January 1. If you have 9 employees on December 31st and 11 on January 2, you don't have to be in E-Verify. January 1 is the magic date. The only people nationally have to do it are federal government contractors. So we're going to do a whole seminar on this live in a few weeks, probably, in a few weeks, because ICE doesn't have any agents working on I-9 inspections right now. They're all doing arrests if they can. All right, let's take a gander here at the questions that we have. We've got, I love America. I love America too. Is it affected by the buyout? No, USCIS is not affected by the buyout. And that is because those employees are paid directly by USCIS. I mean, they come from the Treasury, but they're not funded by taxpayer dollars. Immigration is a self-funded entity. They don't really use taxpayer money, so the buyout does not apply to them. There will be, however, a slowdown in naturalizations. Why? Because they have to interview, under Trump, they interview everybody. So obviously naturalizations are always interviewed, but not every green card applicant is interviewed. Now they're going to take people that have been doing NATS interviews, have them interview green card holders who have not been interviewed. These are people like parents of U.S. citizens. I mean, it's your parent, right? What are you interviewing them for? They are. Hola, Ingres. Eres muy simpática. Gracias. Texas Cowboy hat 3. Based on comment, Miller made 3. What is it looking like for those who begin that? Nothing. They cannot revoke your citizenship unless you lied during the interview or lied on your application. There is no other basis to revoke citizenship ever. So on the application, there's a question that says, have you ever committed a crime for which you have not been arrested? If you check yes, if you check no, but then you are arrested for a crime that took place before you naturalized, then you're going to be denaturalized. That's been the law forever. Forever. That's the law. Don't lie to the government. Ever. All right? But if you're perfectly fine, then you're okay. You're not going to be denaturalized. Do not worry about silly stuff. We've got far too many other things to worry about. English, sigo esperando que envíen nuevamente por correo sobre mi caso, que le borré equivocadamente, por favor. Ahora, English, you need to llama a la oficina. Okay. No sé de qué está hablando. Archivali, good to see you. Lincoln Riley Act is, in my opinion, my legal opinion, my analysis says it is not retroactive because a number of Supreme Court cases say for a law to be retroactive, it must say it's retroactive. And this does not. Period. So if you've got a shop with immigration 10 years ago, you cannot be detained. If you are detained, call me. We will fight to get you out, and we will win that case. How are you on? DACA can travel domestically. Yeah, DACA's fine. DACA go wherever you want. Have a great time. But carry your DACA work permit with you. Okay? That's really, really important. Manuel, hola, ¿cómo podrá quedar TPS de Venezuela? Well, estoy hablando con un amigo mío en Boston y estamos hablando con el ACLU acerca de litigación para parar la terminación como hicieron antes. Están en discusión. Tenemos tiempo. Okay? No, nada va a pasar inmediatamente. Esos casos toman tiempo para desarrollar, escribir y preparar. Okay. Good morning, attorney. I received my bona fide determination. How long does the work permit take? Well, if you included the work permit with the filing, it takes 30 days. If you didn't file the work permit until after you got the bona fide determination, then it could take 4 to 6 months. Actually, I can talk to me. You pick up the phone and you call me like everybody else on the planet. This phone literally never stops ringing. If you're my client, I gave you my card. I gave you my direct dial. Hell, you have my cell phone number. Call. You can also email me, which is best, or you can text me. Either way. Sara Murillo. It's DACA traveling with AP. Pending I-130 approved for spouse. Spouse was able to open a deported when in absentia. Master's marriage wants to file. Oh, okay. So you don't. First of all, you don't file the I-130 is approved. You don't need to file that. What you need to do is a motion to terminate. File the 485. You get a receipt notice. Do the motion to terminate. It'll be terminated. You're good. There won't be a hearing. Hopefully. Why isn't your lawyer doing this? That's what they need to be doing. Do it. Okay. With Sarah. Oh, Sarah has another question. Why would she need? She would not need an I-130. She's got one pending. She can interfile the 485. She's good. No, her case will not be stronger. It'll be stupider, and it will confuse the immigration. No, don't do that. Terrible idea. Dumb. Roberto Cuevas. Hola. Me preguntas cuál tabla hay que usar en el boletín de visa de B3. Soy de Julio. Yo tengo permiso de. Oh, so he's asking about the visa bulletin that just came out for. Let me just pull it up here. March 2025. The visa bulletin for March 2025. Usted no dijo su país, Norberto. ¿De qué país? Other workers, EB3, final action dates are December 2022. So diciembre 2022. Si eres mexicano, diciembre 2022. So you still, todavía falta año y medio. You got a year and a half wait, I'm sorry to say. You're welcome, Texas Cowboy had 3. Walter, I have DACA with removal order from 2010. Oh, it's from 2013. Should I bring my? Yes, you should bring a lawyer to your check-in. This is the first one since Trump became president. And why haven't you reopened your case? What are you doing? File a motion to reopen, Walter. Hernan Dario Escobar. Good morning, attorney. Received my body. Oh, you already asked this question. Henry Leva. Henry, how you doing? Can green card holder? Well, if you've had your green card for 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. Or if you've lived with your U.S. citizen spouse for 3 years, you can apply in 3 years. RK, how much registration do you expect? Oh, that's a great question. I haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about it. I think there's going to be a higher number of applications because there's a lot of TPS people that are going to lose their TPS that have bachelor's degrees. So I think we'll see at least what we had last year, maybe a 10% increase. But Mark, I need to study that a little bit more in my brain. That's kind of an off the cuff. I'd say about a 10% increase, generally speaking. Antonio Perez. Si tengo DACA y permiso de buena fe, de visa, ¿cuál permiso es mejor? Enseñar en caso de ser detenido. DACA. DACA. Dora Rojas. Hola, buenas tardes. Una pregunta: si estoy casada y me aprobaron buena fe termination, ¿cuánto tiempo tarda un colega? Dora is also asking about a work permit. Son 30 días si lo incluyó con su aplicación o 6 a 4 a 6 meses si lo mando después. So it's literally 30 days after you got your bona fide determination. If you filed it with the work permit, which is what we do, but if you waited to get the BFD, then it's 4 to 6 months later. RK, do you expect new regulations? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of new regulations. They're going to publish all kinds of crazy ass stuff to undo what Biden did, which is what they have to do. I mean, it's the only way they can fix stuff is by publishing. So we're going to be seeing stuff in the next several months. We're going to see H-1B stuff. Next year, H-1Bs, they're going to try to limit to by wage. You know, the highest paid people get the H-1Bs, which is insane. It's stupid. What are school teachers going to do? What are they going to do? I mean, it's stupid. Claudia Sánchez, hola, abogado. ¿Se puede aplicar permiso de trabajo cerrado? Me ha tratado muchas veces, pero el abogado dice que no va a tener recibo. Lucalia, no conozco su caso. I need more information about your case. I don't know. You say, can you get a work permit if your case is administrative? I don't know. Permisos de trabajo son basados en aplicaciones pendientes. ¿Qué aplicación tiene pendiente? Omarcito, gracias, hermano. Gracias. Gabriel Nolasco. Gabriel, does BFD approval, which grants for action, protect you from deportation? Under Trump, it's unclear. If they might try to end it. A little unclear. I doubt they would do it, but I would put nothing past them. Really, I wouldn't put anything past them. I just wouldn't. Aaron, ¿puedo viajar a México con mi residencia? Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, estás bien. He's asking, he was arrested before he got his green card. Can he travel on his green card? Yes, you can. Todavía, puede hacerlo. Manuelito Pérez, bendiciones. Tengo una pregunta. ¿Más pro puede aplicar también de ir por una persona a tercera edad? Tiene visa la persona. Yeah, está bien. That's good. You can get an advance pro to go visit somebody in their country who has a visa to come here because they're probably too sick to travel. And he said in their third age, which means they're really old. Abraham, quería saber si hay un documento que me ayude a renovar la licencia, ya que no he llegado a mi permiso vencido en septiembre. No, there's nothing. No hay nada. Dora, no hay de qué. Beltran, Breeze Beltran, how are you? I hope a doctor said had a theft charge 10 years ago. Has been dismissed. No problems. Lake and Riley is not retroactive, in my opinion. Do you think it's smart to file for DACA? Yes. I mean, you have to renew your DACA, not apply for a new DACA. To renew your DACA, anytime in the next year, you should be filing. Julio Resendez, what do you think the future is for DACA holders? I'm getting a BMW Masters. I wonder. Well, that doesn't really have anything to do with your DACA. Really, Julio? I don't know. I mean, Trump hasn't said anything about DACA. And I know that they will not pass any immigration legislation out of the Senate that does not include Dreamer green cards. It's not going to pass because the Democrats can hold it up. So because don't have any confidence in Democrats. I do not believe they would abandon Dreamers on this. I do not believe they'll do that. So future, for now, you're okay. For now, you're okay. And congrats, by the way, on master certification. You can always go to Germany and probably get paid 5 times more. But you got to learn to speak German. How long it takes to have a deportation case reopened? Well, it depends. I mean, after the court receives the motion, the minimum time is 10 days because the government has 10 days to respond. I tell people 30 to 60 days. Sarah, I get the hiccups. Sarah, Murillo, lawyer opened the deportation order, but now says we have to pay extra for representing court to terminate the case. Yeah, we'll terminate the case. It's easy. I mean, terminate it. Really, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Holly, so I have DACA and deportation order. Would having a child disability help me in any way? Not until the child's 21. And by the way, why haven't you reopened your deportation case? Oscar David, how is it legally possible that Doge? It's not legally possible. That's why they keep getting shut down. I mean, the president, he has authority to hire people, right? There's this category called special government employee, SGE. But what they're doing is clearly violative of the law. You can't just fire government employees. You can't just close departments down. But the Congress is they're completely useless in this because most of them want it. Most Republicans don't want government. That's the dirty little secret. Republicans don't want a government. They don't want one at all. That's the dirty secret. Anyway, appreciate you doing this. You're welcome, my friend. We had a great time. Awesome. That's awesome. Karina, is there any options for parents of U.S. children over 21? Parents have no options. No. Multiple entries, permanent lifetime bar. Based on Donald, would this well, we've actually been batting this around, Texas Cowboy Hat 3, whether if cartels are terrorists, if you are afraid of the cartel, can you get asylum? I mean, I would make that claim. I don't know if it'll win, but I would make that claim. I mean, we got asylum from the FARC. FARC were terrorists, right? We got some asylum cases there. And clearly Mexico isn't protecting people. So maybe, definitely worth. If you got nothing else, it's not a bad thing. If someone's TVs was approved to renew their DACA, I would just keep the green. It's like having a piece of insurance, Elena. And congratulations, and I'm sorry that you have a T visa. Claudia Sanchez, cancelación de deportación ha cerrado. Me dice, oh, yeah, entonces usted es elegible para permiso de trabajo. Llámanos y te ayudamos. Entonces, mi abogado ya se murió. Recibo es fácil de sacar. Un FOIA. Can you change standard TPS to H&B inside the United States? RK, there's been a group of lawyers having this exact discussion, and there is no consensus. Some people think if you came on a visitor visa, and while on a visitor visa, change to TPS, and then you can do H-1B. But if you came illegally or on parole and changed to TPS, then you can't change status. That's kind of my take on that. But it's lawyers are not sure because there's no guidance on this. Omarcito, otra vez. Buenas tardes, abogado. Ya tengo una pregunta. Apliqué por la visa U. Me llegó el año pasado mi permiso de trabajo. Entonces, seguro saber si para la red se cuánto impide con mi proceso y cuánto me llega el permiso de trabajo. Usted dijo que tiene su permiso de trabajo. Estoy confundido. Pero visas toman, si aplicó en 2018, toman 10 a 15 años. Claudia, quisiera saber si puedo arreglar a mi mamá que vive aquí en Georgia. Ella tiene 15 años aquí. Yo soy solamente, Claudia, residentes no pueden pedir. She wants to fix her mom's status, but she's a resident. Claudia, residentes no pueden pedir padres, solamente ciudadanos. Y solamente si entraron con visa. Carlos, can we still travel? Yes, you can still travel on advance parole with the removal order. 100%. People are doing it. Go to Dreamers Together. You'll see hundreds of people doing it. Kenya, my husband, as I went through his father, was now a citizen. My son's 21 next year. Okay, Kenya, I don't remember the rest of your question. I don't know what that means. When did he file? Did he file before 2001? I don't know. I need more information. This is why I do consults. Remember, the best way to ask me questions is in a consult, and we do lots of video consults all over the country. Toby, oh, you're welcome. Jasmine, my husband was deported in 2012 when he was a 9-year-old. She applied for DACA. No, there is no DACA to apply for. He can't apply. There's no new DACA. New DACAs are not open. Got to wait for the Supreme Court to say that they are. Thank you. You're welcome. Sylvia, how long does it take to reopen a deportation case? Well, you know what I'm seeing, Sylvia, is a lot of lawyers telling you they filed a motion to reopen, but in fact, what they did was ask the government to join in a motion to reopen, and they're just not doing it. Those are sitting for a year. I don't know of any motion to reopen with a court that's pending a year. So you might want to have a talk with your lawyer. Oh, yeah, my wife has DACA. Her dad is a citizen. Can you teach for her? She is 32, and we have 2 baby boys who are U.S. citizens. Well, he can sponsor her, but it's about a 25-year wait. It's not really worth it. Your kids will be 21 by then. Attorney, thank you for answering the previous question. My cousin DACA was canceled. No. Don't do stupid stuff. ¿Qué limitaciones tendría el gobierno para eliminar TPS? Well, eso depende de lo que dicen las cortes. Hay un proceso. Hay un proceso de terminar TPS y tiene que seguirlo a la letra. Creemos que no la siguió. Okay. Jasmine Jimenez, you can't apply for the vote. Yeah, so Jasmine's giving advice here. That's correct. Okay. Uriel, thank you so much. You're welcome. Walter Shi, is it possible to remove it? Yes, you can get it removed. I mean, well, it might be a lot harder now. It was easy under Biden. We did a bunch of these. Just got them reopened because you have DACA. Can my U.S. mother petition for me older than 21? Yeah, it just takes 25 years. Jasmine, thank you. Okay, now remember, thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. So you want to make an appointment with me, we do consults all over the country. We do them here above our front. Just call 404-816-8611. Happy to answer any questions. We have a whole team of lawyers, not just me. A whole team of really great lawyers trained by me. They all know what they're doing. They all get the same advice I give. Might not be as good looking as me, but who is really in the grand scheme of things? Call, make an appointment. You can also email me. I respond, as people will tell you, I respond to all my emails. I have, when I leave for the day, I have no unanswered emails. No, I do them all. Also, follow me on Twitter. We're having fun on Twitter. A lot of fun stuff going on there. And of course, our website has 2,000 pages of information at immigration.net. All right, we got time here for one last question here. As a nurse with a bachelor's in advanced parole entry, should I do Biden's parole with work sponsorship? Well, you have to get an H-1B first, and not every nurse is qualified for an H-1B. You have to be a charge nurse to get that. My question is, why is your employer not sponsoring for your green card under EB-3? You get an automatic green card and get in the line. That's what you should be doing if you got your DACA before you were 18 and a half. Oh, come more. Any talks of affirmative revisions being considered? No. That bill is not going to pass unless it has pro-immigration stuff, but nobody knows what they are. A friend has DACA, they haven't filed taxes for a couple of years. Yeah, because taxes aren't required to renew, but they should file taxes because it's the law. Okay? Is it safe for someone with a deportation order to travel with AP through AOS? Well, you can't AOS with a deportation order. You have to get a waiver. So I'm a little confused by that question. Make an appointment and I'll answer it. So everybody, thanks again. Great to be with you. I'll be back next week en español. Regreso la próxima semana en español. Hasta entonces. So until then, I am Chuck Cook, the founding partner here at Cook Baxter. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Don't let the